virtual world first. Whereas for me, I still understand. I think so. Maybe I'm wrong, but I still am under the sense that I am Kale playing a video game, even if I am Kale playing a video game using this modded out avatar against somebody, wherever. It's still I'm me first. And I wonder, you might have I'm sure you have an opinion on this. What if that's the forefront of your formation?
The I'm actually concerned about other formations that were coterminous, happening at the same time. Mm-hmm. Like as somebody from 95, right? You and I could both travel back, and both of our 95 selves would be horrified to hear that, like, while our generation was growing up and distracted by the internet, mm-hmm. the school systems came in and turned sexual education into how to enjoy anything but reproductive sex.
Right.
And that whole thing, and how they've talked people into taking castration chemicals under a euphemism, and the delusion that you can Peter Pan, which I did like, by the way, your Peter Pan assessment of the Fuentes situation. The thing.
Thank you.
So the thing I think that I can offer that people might not consider is the tie between the princess and the frog, right? If you're willing to see the internet as the underwater and the frog is the person that spends too much time on the internet, the reason is the underlying root is that we've lost the princesses. With his feminism is the maiden matriarch, mother matriarch thing. The feminism is only advocating for the maidens to be men in an anti-motherhood stance. Mm-hmm. And so we pulled it's like in the rat utopia, stage C is when the female rats lose the capacity to rear young. Yeah. And we've pulled mothers out of the home. And I don't know how much that's damaged the capacity of rearing, but rearing isn't the thing really anymore. And so
it's completely outsourced, right? I mean, it's completely outsourced to the institutions. I mean, for most people, like, in my world, most people have children, mom and dad work, they make good money, right? But they're back to work within 6 weeks of the child being born, and then they're in childcare from 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning until 5 o'clock at night, and then they do that until they're 4.5, 5 years old, and then they immediately go into kindergarten, right? And so it's a remarkable thing we've done, and with very little remarking.
Because we've all been swept up in the dazzle of it all.
Yeah,
I mean, it really was dazzling, you guys. Sorry. Mm-hmm. Sorry we missed out. But mm-hmm. the reason we have so many frogs or lost boys mm-hmm. following the people following the people that grown-ups are so concerned about mm-hmm. is because there are no princesses turning them into there's no princesses to kiss them anymore.
Right. So I'm just trying to make sense of your metaphor here. So in other words, the princess character is done and everybody's now Mario.
She's in another castle because they've tried to turn the women into men, putting career first. It's a man's world. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Yeah. And that alongside with, and now you don't have to be, you can be raised by this screen while your mom's at work.
Right.
So the screens have been doing the rearing for a long time. We can hope the AI does a better job.
Well, I don't want to get into the AI just yet because I know that's where we're going to go in a few minutes. We still got about a couple of minutes here. I want to just hit this a little bit more. So the idea of Peter Pan and the Lost Boys popped into my head in that first weekend in which this was all people were losing their minds, and then a couple of days later, Ben Shapiro sort of put out his look at all these like 9 clips of Nick Fuentes saying terrible things video. And, as soon as I saw that, I was like, man, this stinks to high heaven. And that's really when let me, I'm hearing people on the internet, I'm hearing people on Twitter being like, oh, you need to listen. So I started listening to his show, and, you listen to his show, and, he says a lot of real things. And he also says a lot of really offensive things. But, if you don't understand the gatekeeping function, as you mentioned earlier, right? You say those kinds of things so that you chase the normies out because